Where am I? Over here. I'm sure you're confused, right? See, right now, we're at the One Piece presentation hosted by Juno Romero. Look over there. I'm sure it'll give you a better idea of what's going on. Do you think he'll talk about the anime or the manga? Surely he'll talk about the real world impact. At the very least, they've got to talk about us. Hey guys, look over there. Hi, Robin. Hey there, Robin. And hi, Robin, I didn't see you there. Are you guys all ready for the presentation? Yes, yes. Well then, let's go. As a little heads up, while we watch me meander to get into position for the film, I will be giving a bit of a voiceover just to cover for how bad the audio is. Very graceful, I'm aware. Hi, my name is Juno Romero, and today I'd like to talk about the story of a lifetime, One Piece. I like One Piece a lot. Like, a lot. As you can see, I own all 107 volumes of the English releases, the first half of a novel series, not shown. I've got some art books, and also not shown, I have even more figures, totaling up to 29. Well, I'm sure my collection is clearly awesome. Let's talk about what One Piece actually is. One Piece is an anime and manga series originally published in 1997 by the young writer Eiichiro Oda. It is continually being published in the wide-scale magazine Shonen Jump in Japan. Every week, there are new chapters released, as well as new episodes through Toei Animation, the latter of which premiered in 1999, 2 years after the serialization began. The series has viewers and readers follow along unlikely protagonist Monkey D. Luffy on his dream to become king of the pirates, alongside his crew of colorful characters in an oh-so-bizarre world. Since its initial publishing, One Piece has released 1,132 chapters, 1,122 episodes, 15 movies, 56 games, and a plethora of collectible items, as well as 10 bronze statues in the Kumamoto Prefecture of Japan made to honor the author for his contributions to the community. One Piece is the best-selling manga in history with over 500 million sales, and it is without a doubt the most popular series in both Japan and the West. Hi, editing Juno here. I just wanted to make a note because I was really curious while looking it up. One Piece is actually the second best series in the entire world, even outside of manga. According to several sites, the one I've pulled up right now is Wikipedia. Not the most reliable, but there were more. The greatest selling series is Harry Potter at 600 million, and then second place after that is at 400 million for Goosebumps. One Piece is 100 million over second place and 100 million under first place. Just wanted to throw that in. It's a powerhouse series that has inspired hundreds of new creatives in the field with a revolution in the scale of what manga could reach outside of just Japan. But why? While there are many reasons that we can look to that would be reasonably arguable about the success of why One Piece is as big as it is, like the characters, world building, art, writing, and long-term storytelling, just as a few examples. The main draw I want to talk about is how One Piece interacts with the real world within its story. That is to say, One Piece, while it is in a comedic nature rife with a lot of fantastical elements, it reflects some of the darkest parts of human life and society with an utmost sincerity and empathy that very few series manage to pull off successfully. The series handles morose and tragic subjects from sexual assault to drug use, while also discussing and warning of historical failures in human society like war and political corruption, and yet it still manages to retain its overall light-hearted tone and reach its readers' hearts with joy. So let's break that down a bit. Tracing back to the story's fifth major arc, Arlong Park, the series is very openly progressive and very pro-people. The series is broken down into sagas that encapsulate multiple arcs and are centered around the same act, and almost every saga addresses very elevated subject matter. The second saga, Alabasta, discusses how war destroys countries and how easy it is for powerful officials to manipulate communities, turning civilians on themselves only to better their power. The third saga, Skypiea, argues against how religion is used for colonization and as a means of mass control. covering land back initiatives and how they are often used to demonize indigenous victims of said colonization, while also discussing the destruction of cross-cultural peace for means of gaining status. You see this character right here? This is Nico Robin. She's a 30-year-old archaeologist on Luffy's crew, and she is my favorite character in the entire series, arguably one of my favorite of all time. Her entire story is about having to survive a genocide sparked by the government in order to quell rebellion because her people were some of the smartest in the world and the most educated studying history, which posed a threat to the government's power. In her character, the story advocates for the importance of education and literacy to combat historical failures, while also talking about the topic of mental health, with her being a trauma survivor and having suicidal ideation. That's all pretty heavy, right? Well, guess what? There's more. I'm busting out the whiteboard for this one. Going down the list, we've got Thriller Bark talking about medical malpractice and mutilation of the dead. Marineford talking about government-initiated wars and how they will use propaganda to present themselves as the hero, as well as talking about grief and loss and how war impacts those mental health. Fishman Island talks about slavery and racism and how communities built around racism and those oppressed by it will often abandon hope and no longer look for change. Dressrosa, talking about manipulation, grooming, and how abuse cycles are perpetuated by those that are victims of it when they are untreated. Whole Cake Island talks about child abuse and the effect that parenting with a heavy hand has on children. Wano, we're talking about military states and how those states will use the military they use for protection to push down any chance of civilian liberation and fail those of the lower class. Whew. Take it back away, man. Regretfully, all of my footage after that was lost, but honestly, I don't think it's that big of a regret, because for this type of subject matter, it's deserving of a close heart-to-heart like this. Everything that I just mentioned, the abuse, the war, the manipulation, the slavery, and just the horrible oppression, that is all very real. It exists in this world. And One Piece, despite being about pirates and mermaids and hunting for treasure, wants you to know that this is real. These are real issues. It's trying to give as much respect as it can to these issues while imploring to the audience that we need to be aware and hopefully take action to fight back against it and be better people than the people who were here before could ever dream of being. With all of that doom and gloom, I do think it's very fair if somebody were to just wonder, why would I read that? That is extremely depressing. And while that is right, that is very depressing subject matter. The thing that One Piece also wants you to know is that while it is true for that to be depressing, we ourselves do not need to be depressed. We need to be the best that we can. Earlier, I was talking about some fantastical elements like the mermaids and the treasure hunting, as well as the very lighthearted tone of the series. And that seems really contradictory to what I was just saying, given the weight of how important those topics are to readers. But as readers, that weight is taken off of us because of Oda's trust in humanity, his trust in us, in you, in me, and in anyone who has the courage to take what he's writing and apply it to the real world. The central theme of this entire story is about dreams and freedom. Dreams are the driving force of all of humanity. They are the center of existence for mankind, and freedom is necessary on the journey to fulfillment in life. Every single character in the story has a dream, and whether it's as grandiose as becoming king of the pirates or literally as simple as just reuniting with an old friend. Through Luffy, we get to see in real time how he fights for other people's power to fight for their dreams, as well as giving them the freedom to know that they never have to give up on them. He liberates several countries, he heals victims of trauma from that trauma, and not once does he abandon his smile, because while he himself is facing hardships, there's no point in chasing a dream if you believe that it's going to bog you down. That's not the point of what freedom is, nor is it the point of dreams. Personally, interacting with the series is something that makes my heart feel lighter every time. Whether I'm reading the manga or just looking at my figures, I feel myself become a happier person. Now, don't get me wrong, I have cried to this series many times, sometimes so hard I could not breathe. And yet, the series still manages to fill me with so much hope. Hope that I can be a better person. hope that the world can change, hope that I can chase my dreams and live happily. And that's exactly what draws people to this series in the first place. You might enter because you think Luffy's funny and the art is really cool and you just want to see, where does this journey go? But you end up staying because of how much power it has to connect with your heart. You keep coming back because of your desire to grow alongside the characters and simply just see how much you can go further. At its core, One Piece is about you, about your power to change and reach higher peaks, as well as your power to change the world. That message resonates so deeply into the very essence of what it means to be human. I mean, yeah, a series is going to try to sell itself to you. One Piece does want you to read it. Toei Animation wants you to watch the show. But One Piece also wants you to just be you. Hey guys, I just wanted to say thank you for watching, and then also just reiterate again that I do highly encourage others to pick up the series and see for themselves just how great it is. But whether you do like it or not, I hope you can take the series' message to heart. Dreaming is living, and living is freedom. Within fantasy lies humanity, memoirs, and colorful concepts shadowed by a greater wish for humans. Dare to dream, dare to live, and above all, be free.